Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Insight Audio.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Innal hamdalillah nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh. Wa na'udhu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. Man yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa man yudlil fala hadiya lahu. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu. وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فإن أصدق حديث كلام الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. On this day بإذن الله تعالى Saturday, the 11th of Jumad al-Thani 1424 Hijri, which is agreement with August 9th, 2003. We have this little sitting bi'idhnillahi ta'ala for the purposes of fundraising and also for the purposes of reminding the salafees things that they should be about doing. But I say, as my predecessor said, I remind the sisters to be silent, because we're getting a lot of complaints from those who come and try to seek the knowledge that the sisters or the children or whatever prevents them from seeking the knowledge because they can't hear anything that's being conveyed. So we ask the sisters to fear Allah Ta'ala in this regard and want for your sister what you want for yourself, and make it facilitate them being able to get the knowledge by keeping silent. We ask you to do nothing but accept to keep silent. So this is a reminder, and we may remind on through the lecture. Wallahu ta'ala alam. We're talking about husn khuluq, and we've heard about husn khuluq all day long. Good adab, good manners. Brother, don't lie. Brother, don't cheat. Brother, don't do this. Brother, don't do that. Now we're at the tatbiq stage, inshallah. The tatbiq stage, inshallah. Tanfeed, the actualization and executing this matter. We are not, as Salafis, someone allowed to sit and listen to a bunch of hujjaj, bunch of evidences for Quran and Sunnah, and then act like we didn't hear anything. We are the people, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, that the words are supposed to go in the ears and enter upon the heart and affect us in our actions. Otherwise, we wasted our time. We understand that the time that we came and sat here is our capital, and we'll never get it back. And that Allah Ta'ala will ask us about that. So this is how the Salafi view things. So everything that we heard today, from the lecture of Mustafa George and from the lecture of Tahir, and like this, everything we heard today, we should be willing now to implement it. If you know that you lie, and that is khuluq to tell the truth, then you must cease being a liar. If you know that you cheat Muslims, and it's from good khuluq that you be honest and upright, then you don't cheat anymore. If you know that from good khuluq is to have control of your anger and not let rage take the best of you, and don't verbally say something which is despicable to a Muslim, let alone put your hands on him or her, then you must cease that behavior. What is the benefit of it? Do you think we sit in these circles and talk about patience, patience, and never have patience? We talk about patience so you know that it's from Quran and from the Sunnah, that is a great ibadah, worship. And that there are fada'il, there are virtues to it, and there are rewards, and so on and so forth. And it's a noble thing to be patient. But then there comes mawaqif. Then there comes stances or situations where your patience is going to be tried, and it's truly known whether or not you're patient. So all of this kalam that we've heard, we don't do it for kalam. We're not up here for entertainment. You come here and entertain anyone. Brothers took from their time that they could have been used to doing something, or had used to do something better, or to do something as more profitable to themselves in the akhirah. But they said, let's come, and as he said, badal nada, be generous and give something. What they gave and what we heard now is in our court. Now there's evidence against us. Will we have husn khuluq? Why, if we had husn khuluq, our behavior towards our wives would be different. And if they had husn khuluq, the behavior of the wives towards us would be different. And if we had husn khuluq, our family structure would be different. And if we have husn al-khuluq, our brotherhood would be different. Our reaction towards one another will be different. Our interaction with one another will be different if we have husn al-khuluq. If we have husn al-khuluq, we not see ourselves in the state and the circumstance we're in now. We're in an abhorrent state. The smallest conflict, the smallest disagreement among brothers make them enemies to one another, and make it allowed in their minds and in their practices to go around backbiting a brother, belittling a brother, and destroying the character of a brother for a small conflict, for a small difference. That goes against husn al-khuluq. Along with the matter or article of Sheikh Ibn Uthaymeen, there was another article also that said something I think that we need to, if you don't get anything out of this brief lecture except this, then you've gotten something. Salafiyya wal kadhab la yastami'an. Salafiyya and lying never come together. Salafiyya and lying never come together. And you can take qis ala dhalik ma yasha. Take that and put on it on the same basis whatever you want. Salafiyya and breaking promises don't come together. Salafiyya and cheating don't come together. Salafiyya and being abusive in how you talk to people and harsh how you deal with them don't come together. And he has said, the average Muslim, this one Muslim keeps his word. Ain't that what we used to hear? Muslim word is his bond. Right? You can always depend on the word of a Muslim. If this is the case for the average Muslim, what about a Salafi? What about a Salafi? Salafi is supposed to be on a high level of character. High level of character. So you can take this matter, understand it. Salafiyya and bad character don't come together. You can Salafiyya Aqidah and Salafiyya Minhaj. Know the mawaqif of the scholars about this one and that one. Know all the rudud. Know who's sururi and who's takfiri, who's qutubi and who's kada wa kada. But your behavior would be that which is against Salafiyya. La yastami'an. It's getting better. It's still kind of weak. La yastami'an. And we heard that the Prophet ﷺ say, Iyyakum wal kadhib. Don't lie. Lying is a despicable behavior. Abhorrent behavior, to lie. To lie. How many of us fall into lying? And have not corrected that. But we're Salafi. We're Salafi. Ibn Uthaymeen says, at the praising Allah Tabarak Ta'ala, he said, if I'm going to talk about husn al-khuluq or good character, khuluq, what is khuluq? We call it character in the English language. In the Arabic they say, huwa surat al-insan al-batina. It's the inside of the man. The picture of the man on the inside. The concept of the man on the inside. The reality of the man inwardly. This is husn al-khuluq. This is al-khuluq in general. لأن الإنسان صورتين, because a man has two appearances. An appearance outwardly, and that's the creation that Allah gave us: hand, face, mouth, like this. How your mouth is shaped, how your face is shaped, like this. This is what? Your outward, and in khalq, your creation. This is how you are outwardly. And then there is that which is inside. And now Ibn Uthaymeen makes a good point here. كما نعلم جميعا, just like all of us know that this outward surah, picture of a man, or this outward thing of a man, منها ما هو جميل حسن. You see, outwardly that is jameel, beautiful, and hasan, good. Also from him can be qabihun, sayya, ugly. Ugly, right? This is true, right? Outward creation can be one or the other. You can say this is jameel and this is beautiful, or you can see something that's what? That's ugly. وَصُرَةْ بَاتِنَا, the inside picture. And the inside character of the person can be just that too. It can be hasana, good, or it can be sayya, evil. And amongst them is that which, or amongst them is that which is between that. This is what we call khuluq. How's this inside character? How's this inside reality? How's this man really? This is his khuluq. فَخُلُقْ إِذِنْ هُوَ, khuluq therefore is, it is the natural disposition and behavior and character of an individual that an individual has been naturally upon. Tubi Alee. Naturally he's like this. Alright? And therefore you can get it naturally, and I'm sure you already heard in some of the previous talks, and you can acquire it. But it's better to have the quality naturally. For you to be naturally have a good quality. But if you cannot, you can get it through qasb and maruna, by practice, mamarasa. Make yourself have this quality. For instance, a good quality is generosity. Some people are born generous. They're never selfish. They've been given since day one. They always gave whatever they had. Don't ask him. He knows nothing about selfishness. This is a generous man. And some people are selfish. Won't give you the sweat off their brow. Squeak when they walk. Tight. Don't give you anything. Right? They have to learn to be generous, right? They have to learn. And that is by giving. Making himself give. Mamarasa. Qasb. Making himself give. Some people are liars. Kadhabeen. Wallahi. Just lie. And you can see the sun out, he tell you it's raining. You know? He makes everything that's far close and everything close far. Yeah? That which might happen has already happened, and that which has already happened has never happened. Kadhab. This type of individuals need to learn what? How to be truthful. And this starts one by one. The expressions that come out of his mouth, how to be truthful with. Other people are indahum sidq, truthfulness. They can't help it. Whoever, their enemy could ask them, they'll answer truthful. They cannot lie. You know? Not like George Washington, I can't lie, cut down a church. I mean, realistically, someone who can't lie. So these are qualities that you get, that if you don't have, you have to obtain them. And this is why the Prophet ﷺ says, إِنَّمَا الْحِلْمِ بِتَحَلَّمْ وَإِنَّمَا الْعِلْمِ بِتَعَلَّمْ. And verily, forbearance is learned through making yourself forbearance. And ilm is learned through what? Seeking knowledge. We're not Sufis. We don't think it comes by osmosis. We're going to say huwa, now we got it. No. We have to read. We have to study. We have to listen. Shay min al-juhud. Little striving. Right? This is how إِنَّمَا الْعِلْمِ بِتَعَلَّمْ. Right? Don't just come out the sky. You wouldn't even want it if it was like that, right? So, through that, and man sabbar, sabbarahullah. And he who has patience, Allah will grant him patience. It's through striving. So some of what we heard in these lectures, we got to admit, we got to strive to get. Some of us aren't holding. You hold? You may be holding. Some of us aren't holding. Some of us don't have it. If we had a scale of 1 to 10 about khuluq, it'd be 0. Bad, despicable situation. So this individual needs to know that I don't have nothing even tada'iyya naturally with me. That's right. I don't have a natural khuluq I can point to and say, well, yeah, this is good. All my stuff is whacked. So I have to what? Qasb. I have to strive to obtain it. And if he busies himself on that, that'll be good. That'll make him, busy with, rather than talking about other brothers and concerning himself with other people's affairs, he could work on his khuluq. And this is why the Prophet ﷺ said, L'Ashjaj ibn Qais, Inna fika, verily you have 2 qualities that Allah loves. Al-hilm, which is forbearance, wal-anat, which is to do things slowly, not rush to do nothing. It's not he hears an affair, he just go off. No, he waits. He waits and he calmly weighs the matter, and then he does something. Those 2 qualities, Allah Ta'ala loves them. He said, Ya Rasulullah, O Messenger of Allah, is it something that I naturally had with me, or something that, that I had to develop, or something that Allah naturally placed in me? He said, no, it's something that Allah naturally placed upon you. Those 2 qualities that Allah loves. So these are qualities, when we talk about husn al-khuluq, we shouldn't be thinking about it just a majarrat, or just in the sense that, well, this is a good thing for me to do. But they're qualities that Allah loves. We will be adorning ourselves with that which Allah loves. We will be beautifying ourselves with that which Allah loves. we will be inculcating that which Allah loves. And if we inculcate that which Allah loves, Allah Ta'ala will love us. You look at it that way, and it makes you want to do right. You know, you might be stuck on some issues, but you want to do right. You want to have a better behavior, better character. I mean, he really represents Salafiyah. Salafis were known. I mean, if you look in Tazkiratul Hufaz by Zahabi and all these books about the lives of the Imams, Sir'a A'lam and Nubala by Zahabi, and others, you find that they talk about the qualities of the Salaf. Shuja'ah, he was brave. You know? What do you think one of the Salaf living in this time would do? He's Shuja'ah. Scared to wear the thobe, scared to put henna in his beard, scared to say anything about Islam? No. Shuja'ah, brave. Braveness never knowing any fear. A braveness never cowering down to anything. A braveness bima'na kalima, in the meaning of the word of brave. Bravery is not that known these days. Especially the braveries of the Salaf. Nobody's seen it in a long time. But they about to see it, inshallah. Keep on doing what we're doing. They about to see it, inshallah. Ala kulli halin, fahadha dalil, this is evidence that akhlaq al-fadila, good characteristic, noble characteristics, you can get it naturally or you can get it by acquiring it. But it is better to have it naturally. Because if a person has it naturally, then it's just his normal behavior, and he doesn't have to takalluf. He doesn't have to have any type of great burden upon himself. Whereas it's something that you just had to learn, it's difficult. It's difficult. Give somebody an apple and say, go, and you know you want the apple, you know? Right? You give him the apple and watch him eat the apple. You know? You feel something. If you're not used to being what? Generous. So he goes on, Shaykhuna Ibn Uthaymin, Rahimaullah, وَلَكِنْ هَذَا فَضْلُ اللَّهِ يُعْطِيهِ مَنْ يَشَاءُ. But this is the blessing of Allah. He gives to what? The bounty of Allah He gives to whom He wills. And we ask Allah to make us amongst them. وَمَنْ حَرَّمَ هَذَا, and he who is not able to get it from a natural way, then he has to get it from the hard way. I'm not talking about you, the salam. But he has to get it from the hard way, which is through practice and like this. Now, what we took today was basically husn khuluq with the creatures, right? This is what we took. And most people think husn khuluq is just that, how you interact with creation. The Sheikh says, but in reality, husn khuluq starts with Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala, and how you deal and interact with Allah, or relate to rather, with Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. So that's what we'll cover briefly here, inshallah. حسن الخلق في معاملة الخالق يجمع ثلاثة أمور. حسن الخلق, your good character and behavior in regards to how you act regarding Allah, is covered in three matters. One, how you accept and believe the akhbar of Allah. Talaqi, akhbar, tasdeeq. And how you believe in what the information that we get from Allah. How do you believe that? You have to talaqi, you have to accept it and meet it with tasdeeq, that you believe 100% from your heart that it's the truth. He'll explain it more. Secondly, how you accept and execute and carry out and implement the regulations that Allah Ta'ala revealed. The orders that Allah Ta'ala sent down. How do you do that? Thirdly, how do you deal with the decree of Allah? And that should be with sabr, patience, and rida, being pleased with Allah Ta'ala. These three things is the matter or the axis upon which husn khuluq, good character, is shown towards Allah. Those three matters. And this is a very great benefit for us to listen to this, recognize this, and understand this. Because I mean, all the good khuluq in the world with creation is not going to help you if you don't have good khuluq with Allah. You know? You don't have good khuluq with Allah, but you're kind and gentle and truthful and everything with everybody else. How's that going to help you? Firstly, taking the akhbaruhu, the information that Allah tells us, bitasdiq, accepting it bitasdiq, that is total truthfulness, and that you believe in it 100%. The Sheikh says, بحيث لا يقع عند الإنسان شك, so that there's no doubt in the heart of a man, or taraddud, or hesitation, in accepting and believing the information from Allah Ta'ala. Why? لأن خبر الله سبحانه وتعالى صادر عن علم. The information from Allah comes, the source is knowledge. It comes from knowledge. وهو أصدق القائلين, and He is the most truthful in His speech. كما قال تعالى نفسه, Allah says about Himself, ومن أصدق من الله حديثا, and who is more truthful in Allah in His speech. Surah Al-Nisa, verse 87. Walazim, and what is a must here, if we believe in the narrations and information and the news conveyed to us by Allah, أن يكون إنسان واثقا بها, that the man believes it totally to be truthful, with no doubt. Think, brothers, of any information you got from Quran, information that came on the tongue of the Prophet ﷺ, that you are in fact 100% sure, without any shade of doubt, that it is the haqq, that it is the truth. Now if he's wathiqan biha, Sheikh says mudafi'a anha, defending it. That which you truthfully believe to be the truth, you're going to defend it with your life. You're going to defend it verbally. You're going to defend it in your action. You're going to defend it with your qalam, with your pen, with your writing, any way. You're going to defend it with your lisan, with your tongue, because you believe it to be the truth from Allah Ta'ala. Wathiqa mudafi anha mujahidan biha, making jihad with it, as Allah said to the Prophet ﷺ, jahid biha, yani make jihad with the Quran. Take it, the Quran, as a means of jihad, to struggle against what Allah has ordered him to struggle against. So jahidan biha, mujahidan biha, bihayth la yadkhuluhu shak, it says no degree of doubt, or tashqiq, any type of doubt whatsoever in the information that he received from Allah Ta'ala, or the information that he received from the Messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. If he has this quality that we have just mentioned, imkanahu, he's able then to defend Islam from any shubha, and providing he knows the answer, of course, to defend Islam from the doubts that come from the muqridun, those who want to harm Islam, those who want to harm Islam, and those who want to play with the words of the Prophet ﷺ and what Allah Ta'ala said. Whether they are min al-Muslimin, those Muslims who like to play, الَّذِينَ ابْتَدَعُوا فِي الدِّينِ اللَّهِ, those people who innovate in the deen of Allah, that which He sent down authority, يعني مَا لَيْسَ مِنْ, that which is not from it, أَمْ كَانُوا مِنْ غَيْرِ الْمُسْلِمِينَ, or from other than Muslims, those who bring the shubuhat, the doubts, and throw them upon the hearts of the Muslims. Now, his mu'amala, his good husn khuluq with Allah is that everything Allah said is true. I don't have to investigate that. I have to investigate my sanity before I investigate whether or not what Allah said is true. It is 100% true. It is reality. Anything else is falsehood. Understanding this and defending and standing upon this, the Shaykh said he'll give an example. ثبت في الصحيح بخاري من حديث أبي هريرة, confirmed in the Sahih Imam Bukhari from Hadith Abu Hurairah, that the Prophet ﷺ said, إذا وقع الذباب, if a fly gets into your sharab, your drink, then smash it, right? Push it down, and you smash it, because in one of its wings is a remedy, and one of it has a disease. Thabit, Hadith Thabit. Shaykh Nasr defends it beautifully in Silsila Hadith Sahiha. Hadith Thabit, fixed, firm, don't worry about it. Now he says, هذا خبر, this is information from the Messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. This is news. This is the Prophet ﷺ informing us of something. في الأمور الغيب, from matters that are the unseen. لا ينطق عن الهوى, he doesn't speak of his own desire. Hashahu, He doesn't speak of his own desire. إِلَّا مَا أُوهِيَ اللَّهُ إِلَيْهِ, except what Allah reveals to him. That's all Muhammad ﷺ spoke. That's all Abu Qasim ﷺ spoke. That all Mustafa ﷺ ever spoke with what Allah Ta'ala revealed. لِأَنَّهُ بَشَرٌ, he's a man, because he's a man. وَالْبَشَرُ لَا يَعْلَمُ الْغَيْبِ, and the man never knows the unseen. The man doesn't know the unseen. بَلْ قَدْ قَالَ اللَّهُ لَهُ, and Allah said to him, قُلْ لَا أَقُولُ لَكُمْ عِنْدِي خَزَائِنَ اللَّهِ, say to them, I don't say with me is the treasures of Allah. وَلَا أَعْلَمُ الْغَيْبِ, nor do I know the unseen. وَلَا أَقُولُ لَكُمْ إِنِّي مَلَكٌ, nor do I say I'm an angel. إِنِ اتَّبِعْ إِلَّا مَا يُوحِي إِلَيْهِ, but I follow that only which is revealed to me. Surah Al-An'am, verse 50. هذا خبر, this information about the fly. يجب علينا, obligatory upon us, أن نقابله بحسن الخلق, for us to greet it, take it, and accept it with good khuluq. With good khuluq. And what's good khuluq in this case? I'm asking now. هذا امتحان صغير. What's good khuluq in this case? Believing in it and accepting it. Right? Accepting it and believing in it. Only Muhaddith knew. لا حول. نعم. هكذا in Brick City. Allahu musta'an, Allahu musta'an. What, the rest of y'all shy or something? Y'all got from Husn al-Khuluq that you should be shy and you've been modest regarding deen and ilm? Should have been a crowd of you saying, Tasdeeq, Iman, believe. Just Muhaddith. Ma'a nafsihi. Ummah. He's an ummah now. Huh? Allahu musta'an. Ala kulli hal. And so he says, from Husn al-Khuluq is to take these akhbar or this information and to take it and accept it. وَأَن نَجْزَمْ, be sure about it. Don't doubt ya Abdullah. Be sure about it. Yani najzam, be sure about it. Huh? Why? بأنما قال النبي الإسلام, because what the Prophet ﷺ said, في هذا hadith, in this hadith, فهو حق, it is the truth, وَصِدْق, it is truthfulness, وَإِنِ اعْتَرَضَ عَلَيْهِ مَنْ اعْتَرَض, even if somebody comes and tries to find fault with it, you don't pay them no attention. Don't pay them the least attention. Be like Sufyan Thawri or Sufyan Uyayna, going around the Kaaba. And a man came to Sufyan and said, Ya Sufyan, Ya Sufyan. Labbaik wa sa'daik. No, he didn't say that. But anyway, Naam, what? He said, what do you say about such and such situation? He said, I say such and such. He said, Fulan or Fulan, such and such and such, disagrees with you. فَمَا يَعْبَى بِي. He didn't pay him any attention. Kept on making tawaf. So what, he disagrees? What do I care? I told you the haqq and I went about my business. Later he was making tawaf and he came running to him and said, Ya Sufyan, Ya Sufyan, Rajul yuwafiqa. The man agrees with you. فَمَا يَعْبَى بِي. And even then he didn't pay any what? Attention to him. Don't matter his muwafaqa or mukhalafa. Doesn't mean anything. Madama, as long as you're on the haqq. So this is how it should be. That once you get the khabar from the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that's enough. Ala ayn wa ras, upon my eyes and upon my forehead. Now he says, Shaykhuna Ibn Uthaymeen, Rahimaullah, he says, even if someone disagrees with it, وَنَعْلَمْ عِلْمِ الْيَقِينِ, know with the knowledge of certainty, أَنَا مَا خَالِفْ مَا صَحَّ عَنْ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ صلى الله عليه وسلم فَإِنَّهُ بَاطِلٌ, that whatever is opposition or other than what the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam has told us, then it's falsehood. Because Allah Ta'ala says, فَمَاذَا بَعْدَ الْحَقِّ إِلَّا الضَّلَالِ, there's nothing after the truth except the going astray. فَأَنَّا تُصْرَفُونَ, how can you be turned away? How are you turned away? فَمَاذَا بَعْدَ الْحَقِّ إِلَّا الضَّلَالِ, that means akhi, that there's nothing after the haqq except for going astray. There's nothing after reality except that which is illusion. There's nothing after the truth except that which is falsehood. Have no doubt about it. Now, he says, وَمِثَالْ آخر, another example, مِنْ أَخْبَارِ يَوْمِ الْقِيَامَةِ, from the information and news we receive about the Day of Judgment that Allah tells us. and that the Prophet ﷺ says? The Prophet ﷺ says that the sun will be a meal from the creation on that day. And meal here in Arabic means one or two things. Either meal being the thing that is used to put kohl in your eyes. This is called a meal. So that the sun will be that close. Right? Or meal in the regular, what we understand to be miles. Right? A mile. Nevertheless, this is what is understood, and that the sun will be at a ra'us, upon the head of the creation. Huh? In this distance, let me talk about 93 million miles, I think they say now. The sun. It will be that close to the creatures. وَمَا هَذَا, even with this, and we ask Allah Ta'ala for His shade. وَمَا هَذَا فَإِنَّ النَّاسِ, the people won't burn with the heat of the sun. Whereas if it was to come even anywhere near that close as an ant to them in the dunya, they will totally burn up in this world. So the person will say, how is it that the sun can get that close to creatures on their judgment, and the people are still there remaining and they're not being burnt? Now, Shaykh asks, فَمَا هُوَ حُسْنُ الْخُلُقِ نَحْوَ هَذَا الْحَدِيثِ, what is good character regarding this hadith? I asked him last time when he answered. Now I'm asking someone else to answer. Huh? Allahu Akbar. The-salah ma'na. Kad ja'a. Yes, to believe it. He said, Husn khuluq, with this hadith, he says, this hadith is naqbalahu, to accept it and believe in it, and la yakun fi sudurana haraj. There should not be in our heart any difficulty in accepting it. That shak that kafir brought, or that some other miskeen person mentioned, shouldn't even have an effect on us. You say, now, that is right. How in the world, hey, kaif? This is information from Allah. Allah yahdik. Information from the Prophet ﷺ. How can you even think that, that type of madness? So there should be no haraj. Wala dayq, no tightness. Wala taraddud, no hesitation. And we know, and we must know that which the Prophet ﷺ informed us of, it is the haqq. Wala yumkin, it's not possible that we analyze and analytically look at it and compare the situations of the after with the situations of this world. Liwujud al-fariq, because there's a great difference between the two. Wujud al-fariq adhim, a great difference between the two. The akhirah, barakallahu feekum, is not like the dunya. And the dunya, Allah barak feekum, is not like the akhirah. Huh? Great difference. For the kind of kadhaik, if in a mu'min, if it's such, then the believer accepts it. He accepts this type of khabar, this type of information. Bi'inshirah, with his chest open. What ta'manina, serenity. He's at peace with it. He's at ease with it. Huh? And his understanding is widened for it. His understanding is widened for it. هذا في الأخبار. That's just your husn khuluq with information that Allah gives and the Messenger gives. Husn khuluq. Husn khuluq with talaqi ahkam, accepting and greeting and meeting the rules and regulations, the laws that Allah sent down, be tanfeed with tathbiq, execution of them and implementing them, acting upon it immediately. This is regarding what? The ahkam. How you make salah, how you do wudu, what is halal to eat, what is, all regulations. We meet this with what? Tatbiq, tanfeed, implementation, practice, doing it, carrying it out. Inna husna khuluq fi mu'amalatillah, very from the good khuluq in dealing with Allah regarding His regulations and His laws, is that the individual takes it with qabul, he accepts it. Then he carries it out and he applies it, and he doesn't reject anything from the laws of Allah. فَإِذَا رَدَّ شَيْءٍ مِنْ أَحْكَامِ اللَّهِ, If he rejects anything from the rules or regulations sent down by Allah, this is so khuluq. This is evil behavior, evil character, that he will reject anything that came from Allah. وَرَدُّهَا مُنْكَرًا. To reject it is a great evil. مُنْكَرًا حُكْمُهَا وَرَدُّهَا مُسْتَقْبِرًا. Whether he means whether he denies it, denying its ruling, like some people do, or being arrogant to act up on it, or reject it because he's too lazy or he's belittling it to act upon it. فَإِنَّ ذَلِكَ مُنَافٍ. This goes against husn khuluq, having a character with Allah. وَلِنَضْرِبْ ذَلِكَ مَثَلًا. We'll give example of that also. As-sawm, fasting. لَا شَكَّ أَنَّهُ شَاقٌّ عَلَى الْإِنسَانِ. Fasting is hard, no doubt, upon the individual. الإنسان يترك فيه المعلوف من الطعام والشراب والنكاح. A man leaves that which he is used to, of food and drink and sexual intercourse. وهذا أمر شاق. This matter is hard. It's not easy. It's hard. خلي معنا. You with us? You with us, Muhaddid? Allah barak fikum. ولكن المؤمن, the believer, who has husn khuluq, good relations and good character rather with Allah Ta'ala, accepts this responsibility and believes it to be something noble and that is a blessing from Allah. Accepts it with an open heart, with serenity, opens himself up for it, and he finds that fasting on those hot days that are long, and he's pleased with it, and his chest is open to it, because this is from husn khuluq, good character with his Lord. But someone who has said khuluq with Allah will reject this great worship and will complain about it and will have dislike for it. And if it was the fact that he did not fear a matter that which would have a bad ending, he would not fast at all, but he may fast just to get along, as they say. وَمِثَالَ آخر في الصلاة. Regarding salat, he says, example, salat la shak innaha thaqila. Salat is heavy, particularly upon some people, and it's real hard upon the munafiqeen, as the Prophet ﷺ said, أثقل الصلاة, the hardest salat upon the hypocrite. I'm missing something. I know salat is the hardest upon the munafiqeen. There are two that are salat al-isha and salat al-fajr. Bukhari, Muslim. But salat to the believer is a coolness to his eyes. It's relaxation to himself. Allah says, وَاسْتَعِينُوا بِالصَّبْرِ وَالصَّلَاةِ. And seek Allah's help through patience in prayer, or with patience in prayer. وَإِنَّهَا لَكَبِيرًا. And very it is hard or is great. إِلَّا عَلَى خَاشِعِينَ. Except those who fear Allah. الَّذِينَ يَظُنُّونَ. Those who think in this matter, they believe and know that أَنَّهُمْ وَلَاقُوا, that they will meet their Lord, رَبَّهُمْ وَأَنَّهُمْ إِلَيْهِ رَاجِعُونَ, that they will come back to Him. فَهِيَ عَلَى هَؤُلَاءِ. These type of people, it's not hard upon them, but it's سَهْلٌ يَسِيرًا. It's easy upon them. And because this, the Prophet said, جُعِلَتْ قُرَّةَ عَيْنِي فِي الصَّلَاةِ. The coolness of my eyes, the sweetness of my eyes, the enjoyment of my eyes was placed in the salah. In the salah. رواه أحمد والنسائي والحاكم وقال صحيح على شرط مسلم. And the Hakim says sahih upon the condition of Muslim, and Dhahabi agreed with him. فَحُسْنُ الْخُلُقِ مَعَ اللَّهِ. Then having a character with Allah regarding salat is to do salat at its proper time, and your heart is open, and you have serenity, and your eyes are pleased, or your eyes are cooled by it. And your eyes are in a nice condition with it regarding the salah. Tafra idha. You're happy that if you are in fact making salah, you are pleased with it. You wait for it when the time has passed, and so on and so forth for the next salah. If you made fajr, you have a desire to make dhuhr, and if you make dhuhr, or after you make dhuhr, you have a great desire to make asr, and once you pray asr, you have a great desire to make maghrib, and once you make maghrib, you have a great desire to make isha, and when you make isha, you have a great desire for fajr. Hakadha da'iman, like this all the time. Qalbuka, your heart, mu'allaq, connected, bihadhi salawat, with these prayers. فَهَذَا لَا شَكَّ أَنَّهُ مِنْ حُسْنِ خُلُقٍ مَعَ اللَّهِ. It is no doubt that this is from good character with Allah. Lastly, he's got another mithal before we go to the last one. نَضْرِبْ مِثَالٍ ثَالِثًا فِي مُعَامَلَاتٍ. في mu'amalat and transactions, how we deal with them. Haram Allah alayna riba. Allah has made forbidden interest. Hurmahu tahriman sarihan. It is clearly haram. In Quran, Allah said Allah has allowed buying and selling, and He has forbidden riba. Surah Al-Baqarah 275. And He says, فَمَنْ جَاءَ مَوْعِظَةً, the one who admonition comes to, min Rabbi, from his Lord, فَانْتَحَى, and he starts, فَلَهُ مَا سَلَفْ, then for him is what is the past. وَأَمْرُهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ, and his matters with Allah. وَمَنْ عَادَ, but he who returns, فَأُولَٰئِكَ أَصْحَابُ النَّارِ, then they are the companions of the fire. هُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ, they will be therein forever. For Allah Ta'ala promised the one who returns to interest after maw'idah, admonition has come to him, after he knows the ruling regarding riba, that he is forever in the hellfire. Yes, he said khulud. Now you deal with that, how you got to deal with it. Salaf say, leave that just like it is. Take it like you hear. Don't be looking for what about this, what about that. Khulud. Khulud. Huh? Repeat it, khulud again? Or the whole ayah? He said here Allah Ta'ala has promised or threatened that the one who goes back to riba and interest after admonition has come to him and he knows the ruling, He has threatened him with being in the hellfire forever, and we seek refuge in Allah from that. Al-Mu'min, the believer, accepts these rulings with an open heart, with pleasure and with submission. But other than the believer, he doesn't accept it. His heart, his chest is made tight with it. He tries to find different ways to get around the ruling. Because he says, because we know that riba brings about some type of finances for some people, but it's in a dangerous situation. Because in reality, he said, it's kasb al-shakhs, one person benefiting, and dhum al-akhar, another person being done an injustice. And because of this, Allah says, in tubtum, if you repent, falakum ra'usan walakum, you can have your capital. La tathlimuna wa la tuthlamun, you won't be done injustice, or do not do injustice and you won't be done injustice. Like this, Baqarah 279. Now, the third matter and the final matter that we have come to now, and this mawdu' of subject of husn khuluq with Allah, is ar-ridha. And this is something important, brothers. Being pleased, was sabr, having patience upon the decree of Allah. And all of us know that the decree of Allah has in it, that which He does upon His creatures, or places upon His creatures, that which is bitter and that which is sweet. That which is nice and that which is other than that to the creatures. Everyone knows this. Do people like to be sick? Abadan, the Sheikh says, never. People like to be healthy. Does poorness agree with the person? I like to be poor. No, abadan. إنسان يحب أن يكون غنيا. Man likes to be rich. وهل جهل يلائم الإنسان. Does any individual like to be ignorant? No, a person likes to be knowledgeable. لكن أقدار الله. But the decree of Allah, the decrees of Allah, بحكمته, with His wise wisdom, has decided that some will meet this and some will meet that. تنوع منها ما يلائم الإنسان. Some of it which meets the person, ويستريح, and he feels comfortable with it, goes in accordance with his nature, like that, and some of it which is not like that. So okay, if the decree comes which is not to your agreement, because Allah did not hold shura with you, because He doesn't have to, for He's the Khaliq, the creator, and you're makhluq, and there's no discussion here. You are owned and He is the owner. So something happens that you dislike, and it sends you in a bad state. What is supposed to be your husn khuluq with this? Your husn khuluq, Allah yahdiq, is regarding the decree of Allah, is to be pleased with the decree of Allah. Be pleased with Allah decreed from you, and find in it serenity. And know that Allah Ta'ala ma qadara laka illa bi hikmah. He didn't decree it for yourself for wisdom. Wa ghayat mahmuda, and a blessed and beautiful, praiseworthy goal or objective, in which Allah Ta'ala, for that great objective, to that praiseworthy goal, he deserves that he be praised for and that he be thanked. وعلى هذا, and upon this, فإن حسن خلق, to have good character with Allah regarding the decrees of Allah, is that the person is pleased and he submits and he's calm at it, he's at ease with it, and he praises Allah tabaraka ta'ala. And Allah tabaraka ta'ala praises those who have patience, those who, when some difficulty comes to them, they say inna lillah, value for Allah, wa inna ilayhi raji'un, and to him will return. Wa qala bashir as-sabirin, and give glad tidings to those who are patient. Well, not just my sabak, he said we summarize what we preceded and say that husn khuluq, good character, just like it is in dealing with the creatures, is also in dealing with Allah. And that husn khuluq in dealing with the Creator is to accept any information, any news, any wording, anything that he tells us, be tasdeeq with truthfulness, and to take his rules and regulations and laws with acceptance and implementation, and that we accept his decree with patience and with pleasure. This is husn khuluq ma'Allah. This is husn khuluq ma'Allah. This is husn khuluq ma'Allah. Amma husn khuluq ma'makhluk, our brother took it. I had dealt with that. So this is where we'll leave it. And we'll say also from husn khuluq is to be generous. Where's the generosity? Allahumma musta'an. Come on now. Let's not play. We're playing here. Some of us have bought new cars. Some of us bought new houses. What are we doing here? Everything can take from us except the deen of Allah. We can't give. And come on, brothers, ittaqillah fi anfusikum. Don't let shaitan trick you. The money you're saving, put it with Allah. The money that you're saving, put it with Allah ta'ala. It is something strange that those hizbis will give millions. You know, let somebody like that Miskeen Siraj get up there, or someone else, and they'll give anything. But the salafees, you had to bring them ayat. Brother had to start reciting all the ayat about hellfire, all the ayat about giving. Then he got to come with the hadith. And we all know Abu Bakr and Umar was competing. Umar wanted to compete with Abu Bakr, and you know what happened. Abu Bakr won. Umar brought half, and Abu Bakr brought all of it. Then we got to bring the Ghazawat into it. You got to get the Ghazawat. Khaybar, Hunayn, and Badr, and before anybody makes a move. And we're Salafis. Why we were giving our dreams to Mubtadi'een. We were giving our blood, sweat, and tears for foolishness. And now the real deal comes and we keeping the money in the bank. The truth is here, we can't take it. It's too heavy for us. Akhi, it's nothing batil here. No one wants to take your money and do nothing with it. Why, I'd rather throw it down a toilet and flush it than take a dime of it. No. It is for the sake of Allah. And you won't be asked forever. For there is going to come a time where Allah Ta'ala, in His infinite wisdom and mercy, will give and enrich the Salafis. Because we got the haqq. And ain't nobody else got it. Let's be for real. We got the haqq. And everything else is batil. So you're going to get with the program or you're going to get out the way. It's coming, a time is coming. I have no doubt in the Lord that created the seven heavens and the seven earth and all that's between, that He can spend what He wants to spend when He wants to spend, but He's testing us. He's testing us to see if we're real. Give when you ain't got no more. When you go home and you say, oh man, I ain't got nothing. You should feel refreshed. Because there will come a time where sadaqah be spread and no one will accept it. Can you imagine that? It's true. Because Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam said it. Oh, it's real. Oh, it's real. Because he said it when we brought the people and they were rejected. Salary's going to get paid. Not because they want the dunya, but because they support the deen. Allah Ta'ala can give this low creature creation, which he's caused the dunya, which if he cared anything about, he wouldn't get a kafir, a wing of a mosquito in. He could give it to anyone he wants and allow to inherit anyone he wants. And he has decided long time ago that those who inherit will be his ad-da'watus-salafiyyah, his righteous servants. Oh, it's happening, man. Just watch. All you got to do is sit in the cut. Watch, it's gonna come. It's gonna come. Cause it's real, man. And then I'm surprised that I got to tell you that. I'm surprised that I got to convince you. I'm surprised that I got to remind you that this is real, man. Like the blood that runs through your veins. Like the eyesight that Allah gave you that you're seeing with. Like the ears that you're listening with. Like the heart that you're understanding with. It's real. So be stingy now. We check you later. Be stingy. Go ahead. Give to the Hizbis for years and don't give here for a day. Trust in them and doubt us. Why you out of your mind? You must have not been too good at horses. You don't know who to bet on. You don't know what's real. You don't know what's live and what's Memorex. You mean you was messed up there for 8 years following that bozo and brainwash that you really don't see the sun in the midday? Akhi, this is salafee. Don't you see it coming together? Students from Medina, students from Mecca, mashayikh from all the world, and on lines, coming for Dorat, Nasiha, Tawjihat, connections, directions. You don't see it? It's a puzzle to you. What's happening? It's time to wake up, Akhi. Give what you can for the pleasure of Allah. Don't be one of those people, well, I don't like to run into the masjid and I have a problem with the shura, and personally, there's some other issues. So you hold back? You hold back? Didn't they say that about the munafiqeen? They said, don't spend with those around the messenger of Allah until they leave him. Baby, we ain't going nowhere. Ain't going nowhere. Keep your money. Later for you and your money. Money we want is that which is given for the pleasure of Allah, to raise the banner of Allah, the call to true Islam, hirasat ad-din, guarding the deen from the mubtadi'een and hizbiyin and kuffar and munafiqeen and mulhideen. This is what we want to do. We don't have no other program. Ain't no smokes and mirrors. It ain't the mid game. It ain't a con. It's real. Don't you know when you see something real? The realness can walk by you and you don't recognize it. Somebody up on kitab, a man up on sunnah, up on the way to Salaf Saleh, on the way of Abu Bakr Sadiq, Umar ibn Khattab, Uthman ibn Affan, Ali ibn Talib, Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas, Abu Ubayd ibn Jarrah. Somebody that ain't playing with this thing, man. Somebody's tired of playing and played with everything else and bounced into this and tripped into that. Tired of it all, and by the grace of Allah found the deen and the real deen. Don't you think it's time to make a move? Don't you think that if there's any laziness in you whatsoever, you're supposed to shake it off now? Qatal al-bu'd, you've been far away long enough. Qatal al-naum, you've been asleep long enough. Stake if you're na'im. Wake up or sleep one. This is your time, man. This is your time, Philly. This is your time, Newark. This is your time, Dawah, or anybody up on Salafiyah. This is your time. You're going to let it pass by, or you're going to meet it like men met it when Mustafa Islam brought it in the first time. Fi Ra'il al-awwal, on the Amr Atiq. When he brought it the first time, there was men who took it. Men who took it and moved with it. I mean, they were better than the football guy, the quarterback on with a football going to the other end. Going to the end zone. They said, this is the deen of Allah. Let me move with this. Let me move with this. I sleep this. I eat this. I drink this. I walk this. I talk this. I move this. I breathe this. I inhale and exhale this. This is not a game, ya ikhwa. And I could go on and on, but I'm not. So I don't know what the program now. Got to pledge. We're going to do the pledges now. And we hope brothers keep them. Not like what happened in Baltimore, Maryland. Brother give all them $1,000 and they go to the bank and they stop payment. Get the vendors. Yeah, get the vendors. You shouldn't have. They should be coming to you. That's how the Tujjar from Sabiq, right? That's how the merchants was in the past. You have to go find no vendor.
This has been an Insight audio recording. All rights to this recording are reserved by Insight Audio. Insight Audio has now moved this audio to the Creative Commons license. Please download this audio, make copies of this audio, and redistribute this audio so that you can offer a benefit to those around you. Thank you.
Insight Audio.